a big paddock opposite, and a creek and a clump of young willow trees. A thin line of blue smoke stood up straight from the chimney of the ware, and as I looked, a woman came out, followed by a child and a sheepdog, the woman carrying what appeared to me a black stick. She made gestures at us. The horses put on a final spurt. Joe took off his wide-awake, shouted, threw out his chest, and began singing, "I don't care, for you don't see." The sun pushed through the pale clouds and shed a vivid light over the scene. It gleamed on the woman's yellow hair, over her flapping pinafore, and the rifle she was carrying. The child hid behind her, and the yellow dog, a mangy beast, scuttled back into the ware, his tail between his legs. We drew rein and dismounted. "Hello!" screamed the woman. "I thought you was 3 hawks. My kid comes running into me. 'Mama,' says she, 'there's 3 brown things coming over the hill,' says she. And I comes out smart, I can tell you. 'There'll be hawks,' I says to her. Oh, the hawks about here you wouldn't believe." The kid gave us the benefit of one eye from behind the woman's pinafore, then retired again. "Where's your old man?" asked Jim. The woman blinked rapidly, screwing up her face. "Away shearing. Been away a month. I suppose you're not going to stop, are you? There's a storm coming up." "You bet we are," said Joe. "So you're on your lonely, missus." She stood, pleating the frills of her pinafore and glancing from one to the other of us, like a hungry bird. I smiled at the thought of how Jim had pulled Joe's leg about her. Certainly her eyes were blue, and what hair she had was yellow, but ugly. She was a figure of fun. Looking at her, you felt that there was nothing but sticks and wires under that pinafore. Her front teeth were knocked out, she had red pulpy hands, and she wore on her feet a pair of dirty bluchers. "I'll go and turn out the horses," said Jim. "Got any embrocation? Poy's rubbed herself to hell." "Half a mo." The woman stood silent a moment, her nostrils expanding as she breathed. Then she shouted violently, "I'd rather you didn't stop. You can't, and there's the end of it. I don't let out that paddock any more. You'll have to go on. I ain't got nothing." "Well, I'm blessed," said Joe heavily. He pulled me aside. "Gone a bit off her dot," he whispered. "Too much alone, you know," very significantly. "Turn the sympathetic tap on her and she'll come round all right." But there was no need. She had come round by herself. "Stop if you like," she muttered, shrugging her shoulders. To me, "I'll give you the embrocation if you come along." "Righto, I'll take it down to them." We walked together up the garden path. It was planted on both sides with cabbages. They smelled like stale dishwater. Of flowers there were double poppies and sweet williams. One little patch was divided off by pava shells. Presumably it belonged to the child, for she ran from her mother and began to grub in it with a broken clothes peg. The yellow dog lay across the doorstep biting fleas. The woman kicked him away. "Gah, get away, you beast. The place ain't tidy. I haven't had time to fix things today. Been ironing. Come right in." It was a large room, the walls plastered with old pages of English periodicals. Queen Victoria's Jubilee appeared to be the most recent number. A table with an ironing board and a washtub on it, some wooden forms, a black horsehair sofa, and some broken cane chairs pushed against the walls. The mantelpiece above the stove was draped in pink paper, further ornamented with dried grasses and ferns, and a coloured print of Richard Seddon. There were 4 doors, one, judging from the smell, let into the store, one onto the backyard. Through the third I saw the bedroom. Flies buzzed in circles round the ceiling, and treacle papers and bundles of dried clover were pinned to the window curtains. I was alone in the room. She had gone into the store for the embrocation. I heard her stamping about and muttering to herself. "I got some. Now where did I put that bottle? It's behind the pickle."